Good job isolating the Harbor on that short A. And now PRX, they get the bomb down, but they're kind of trapped right now. They're pincered.
Starting to see some spam come through as Jing will fall. EDG holding strong. They still have plenty of numbers to go against this as Divide and something. The remaining pieces of this puzzle that EDG are to solve will crumble. The pistol, the way of EDG.
Great opening pistol for EDG. They look way more confident than they did yesterday. And there's some life in this arena now, man. That was crazy. Every single kill Kong got. Just a roar of thunder in the arena. Look at these shots. He looks way better.
One enemy remaining.
They were ready for this. I mean, that isolation in short A, getting that kill onto Forsaken, that made it so PRX was just trapped. They did get bomb money down, though, and that's why you see something investing into this Marshall. But on the flip side, I mean, really healthy buy from EDG.
Again, the last two times these teams met, it was this exact same map pool. The one maybe wrinkle in that is it was Sunset first and then Bind second. And EDG walked away with the win on Bind.
Yeah.
Was a completely different composition for EDG as well, though. They ran a single smoke comp with just a Brimstone, and it was kind of dually. Oh my gosh.
Well, the duels are going the way of EDG this time.
Kong came ready to play today.
Satchel out.
Oh, he wants more.
That's Satchel. As the flash paves the way, the kills come through. Kong with 4, and EDG with their second.
Showstopper online already. That could be really impactful in a round like this, the bonus round for EDG. And again, Smoggy can upgrade. This is like a whole different team right now, maybe just more familiar with the playstyle of PRX, more confident in general playing against them.
We've talked about this a couple of times. Elimination also just forces the best out of you.
Yeah.
Right? You play to win instead of not to lose, and I know it's early, but it seems to be the approach that EDG has brought into this series. Now the showstopper used. Kong will find nothing but space, but it's space that they will gladly take.
Yeah, it forces PRX to have to take Octagon control, and now they're trapped once more.
Wow. If not for that stimmy, a couple of members there may have died. All going to TP back to Smoggy, who's waiting on the other side with the Sheriff.
That's
to boot. He's about to have his hands full. Patient. The blind is too much.
Good reaction from PRX. And Jing, he has something to say
Pushing
to Kong.
Pushing the pace and getting up into heaven, getting another kill with it, but EDG on the counterpunch. Smoggy on the swing. PRX, a great response.
It's a risky one, though. You don't know what's on the other end at that A site. They got a little fortunate here that Smoggy was only there with that Sheriff. But they did have a lot of good utility when they actually took the A site. I mean, we see that Raynalier come out. It's not every day you play against that. I mean, it probably is for EDG. They're so used to playing against the Reyna on Bind. I'm sure they scrim against PRX quite a bit.
But little discipline like that, like coming out of showers and checking that box, right? Those little things that often go unchecked or unthought of in high-pressure situations. Well done on PRX to make sure that is the case. Meanwhile, an op online, round 4 for Kong.
He's so deadly with this gun, too. You imagine something's going to have to jiggle, but he gets taken out. No utility.
He had almost got past it. Well handled there. Jing using his rocket, connecting onto 2. They were sitting ducks with nowhere to go. And Divide continues to pile it on.
What? It's outrageous.
That shot is ridiculous. Smoggy will be forced to convert into a 1v3.
Okay.
Never saw what hit him.
And if this is what we're in store for, this back and forth, this constant battle, this is going to be an amazing series. I'm so excited for the future. What a response from Jing, though, with this rocket getting 2.
And then, and against Divide, hitting those 2 shots. That last one, the most impressive.
That'll put EDG on a scrappy little bye. I'm surprised EDG aren't giving Kong the Spectre with what he did yesterday. I mean, it seemed like that was like the only saving grace that we witnessed.
It felt like his best weapon.
Yeah. But here we're seeing a double flash setup, maybe even triple flash setup. And PRX are running straight into this.
EDG happy to stack this.
Wow.
Given all the noise that's been made, given all of the info that Kong has on the other side of the site, but they're going to continue. They're going to try to persist and pursue out onto the site. Jing onto the satchel, trying to get across. But now, reconsidering, realizing that you've lost the rest of the map. Once again, they hit the TP, and they're going to find a vacant side A.
And they actually cycled that up onto something who's just going to post up for his teammates while he plants the bomb.
No real info of what's happening on the other side, so Kong is still on the prowl. The Sheriff, though, not the weapon you want in a situation like this. PRX glad to dig their heels in, hang on to the site. Assume their post plants, the duelist is done for.
There.
Chichu and Smoggy will likely just fall to the spike
One enemy remaining.
or to the hands of Mindfreak.
Just try to do some type of damage if you can. That helps.
Yeah.
And just like that, PRX clean up that round. That's 2 times in a row now that PRX have had to pivot into that teleporter and hit the A site. So I'm wondering now for EDG if they're going to read ahead to that. If they see that B long default and maybe keep a trap play outside of showers to punish that. And the attack op, something, he likes to do this on almost every single map. He's going to be met by Kong. Maybe not in this specific duel, but maybe later in the round.
Yeah, we start to see their setups on the map now.
We will
Kong will have the op towards showers. Meanwhile, something on the opposite side. PRX with a lot of presence towards B here.
Yeah.
Blinded.
There was a faint wall towards the A side of the map, but I think EDG, they know that PRX like to feint with that wall.
Yeah, they've done it a couple times now.
Whoa.
I suggest you move.
A little scary for nobody there, but Jing.
The Reckoning invested. Jing tried getting out and finding space. PRX, though, they've slammed their faces into the wall. They haven't really been able to get out, but they are getting the frags that they need. Now creeping forward, Smoggy playing on the other side of the smoke. He's gonna get clotheslined. Again, a situation where he didn't really realize where the pressure was coming from. And now they're gonna hunt down Kong. He's got the op in hand. He's gonna have to do his damnedest to try to hang on to it. Mindfreak will cross divide, will too, spotted him, lands the shots. Now hunting for a second, cannot connect. Mindfreak with 3 as PRX get another.
PRX got 3 kills spamming through the smoke from hookah onto site. That is not something you see every day.
No.
I mean, a bit of a twist of fate in their favor for sure. Look at this. Oh, he did see the tracers though, but a collat?
Yeah, that's tough, man.
And then spam off of the Seekers. I mean, good job. I don't know what else to say in this moment. Early timeout for EDG. I don't think they have, you know, to worry too much right now. I mean, it's definitely a way better start than the last time they played. But it is their map pick, and if you let PRX on the attacking side dictate the pace, it could get out of hand. So I think this is a really good timeout from the side of EDG. And now maybe the name of the game should be a little bit more proactivity, maybe bait out on those B long pushes, bait out a little bit of utility. You can flash early on, back up, and then re-clear once more. Because PRX, they were playing for that trap play that we saw in the eco round with the triple flash.
I agree with you on EDG are still okay. There's still plenty to play in this half, but I think you're right. The other side of the course as well, where adjustments need to be made, because remember, EDG, both maps they played yesterday, they started on attack, and those were maps that they struggled on, right? Those were halves that were clearly an issue when it came to the approach, and you know, they could definitely have different protocols and plans going into bind, but you want to keep this competitive, knowing what yesterday held. So a Stinger in the hands of Kong, a Spectre for nobody, and then 3 Sheriffs around it. Meanwhile, everybody is stacked.
Yeah.
All 5 of EDG are here.
It's a hard read right now.
Lo and behold, that's where PRX are headed.
And I wonder what the cue is for PRX to maybe abort, not fully commit onto this, but I think they're just going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, if EDG continue to hide as much as they can, they might not get the cue to abort. Now they're going to be pushing forward ahead of all of his harbor utility as they try to take the fight. The guns on the other side just too good, though. Ooh, Jing on the snap just gets destroyed. EDG might have overwhelmed them into this, but they're so weak. And the thrash isn't going to connect. Fortunately for Kong, though, Forsaken had Classic out. Divide's left alone. Not a ton of HP. Both of them fall, but the Red Bull clutch comes through for PRX. In the face of the rocket, the shots settle.
Jeez. Devi. I mean, he had to commit. You have no other option there. And maybe if Kong had a little bit more HP, he lives there and they win the round. Kind of feels a little bit like yesterday in that mode where they just can't close out the rounds. They bring it down to a 1v1. It just doesn't go their way. Great job from Devi. That's a funny one.
Go get him.
Again, early presence for PRX. And this time, it's not a fake. It's not a fake. Jing is already trying to getting out, invested the rocket. Something has been such a menace so far.
It's such a pace that they're putting on EDG right now.
Oh, the paranoia is good, but even when that connects, the kills come through. Very nicely done by Kong. To respond a little bit, you imagine that's going to call the rotate out from the spike back towards A. And Chichu, thinking the same thing, was considering B, but will now throw it back.
And Mind Freak, he took his timing here coming out of showers. He had to if he wanted to get any type of space, so gets info that Chichu is in CT. There could still be one player here, though, and I think that's why he's so wary. I mean, look at how cautious PRX are playing right now. They're waiting for the harbor wall, waiting for all utility. The molly? Oh!
A little bit of high ground found. Nobody's positioned so concealed. Now the flash in his face on the swing. Settles the shots. Gets Mind Freak. A 3v2 still the way
Remaining.
of PRX.
What a jump
Now
spot.
Kong's left alone. He's got an op in hand. Devi is weak, but that's another round the way of PRX.
Good patience from PRX on the refight on A. I mean, that was really, really nicely done. Waiting for Forsaken's wall to come back up. The molly from Mind Freak. It gets the audio cue that nobody had to drop there. And the trades, I mean, they were kind of going in the favor of EDG in the beginning. But when you're retaking with an operator, even if you're Kong, that's a tough ask.
Oh, yeah. Into a 1v2 like that as well, with no idea of where the other members are.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
That little jump spot from Forsaken, too, to spot out where Kong was, just makes it decisive, and they play together, they swing them together. Just like that. Kong is on a stinger, but he's so deadly with it, so it might be able to bring this one back.
Try to get ahead of the stack. Really nice shot out from Smoggy.
It was a pixel.
I like this reposition a lot as well.
Yeah, this is the Omen shining right now. Able to play up close, get a kill, TP out. In this case, TP on top of this little weird high ground.
Jing's mom and I have Excurate, Forsaken's brother, and you saw him on stage not too long ago as well. How are you guys enjoying Shanghai?
Very good. I like it here. Much better than Korea.
Oh, wow. Well, I know that you love Shanghai. Forsaken, I know this is a Excurate, sorry. You look like your brother, by the way. I know this is a bit of a nostalgia trip for you. You haven't been here for 7 years, is that right?
Yeah, it's been 7 years. Exactly 7 years I've come to Shanghai, so I'm enjoying my trip a lot after I finish my games. I'm just traveling a lot, eat a lot of good food, and then meeting my old friend, and sometimes it's really fun for me.
Oh wow, that must evoke such memories, right? And Auntie Pearl, I see that you have your props here as well. Did you make this? You said you have an interesting story about this prop.
Because this one was from last year, I brought it all along, and then the team has been very lucky. So yeah, it's here, it's back.
Oh my gosh, so this has traveled pretty much all over the world with you.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a legacy prop indeed. And Forsaken, the score right now is pretty close. So what do you think of the rest of the map?
I was hoping, of course, PRX to win this game. Even I have a lot of friends in EDG also, but still, I want Epic to win this tournament. So I hope, especially for Jason, I hope he can regain his confidence, because I know he's been stressed a lot yesterday. He talked to me, but I just telling him like, just don't care about it, because he need to be reset and just play with his full confidence for today's match.
That's right. Just relax. You heard it from your big brother. So let's see if PRX can close this one out.
Relaxing is much easier contemplated than completed when you're tied at 6-6 with elimination on the line. I mean, yeah, just relax, bro. What do you got to lose? It's fine.
And I'll tell you who's not relaxed. It's Kong. He was very active in the communication, just talking to his team, yapping like crazy. And that's a good sign for a player like him. I mean, he's really bringing the energy into this arena, into his team. That could just be the difference maker as well in a series like this when there's so much on the line. Elimination. Pride between the two teams. They played each other so much.
The last bout did go the way of EDG. But the problem is they've now turned back over to the attack side, which, again, was a pain point for them yesterday. What adjustments did they make?
It's such a good wall to just delay any type of hookah rush or presence. And that flash to re-walk in, that's proactive.
The protocols were really nice, but the armor on Kong.
Yeah, those shots just didn't hit the mark for something.
I mean, he dinked him, but he had light armor in a classic. Yeah, that's what decides that. That's just crazy. It seemed like they had everything prepared, and fortunately for them, if something goes down, Jing and Dubai clean it up. The frenzies are perfect as PRX get the pistol.
4 for Jing into that round. That calmness pushing through. And a lot of EDG's demise was against proactivity. This was a double proactive fight here. At first it was just something, then all of a sudden it's Jing on the rotate from A side, all 3 players pushing hookah. That frenzy could be so deadly in close range battles like that.
I'm excited for the rest of his defensive half though, because that, I mean, you highlighted it, the harbor wall with the flash on the other side is so cool.
This is also very cool from EDG. Hero buying Kong, this Bulldog. We've seen in NA at least Oxy doing this quite a bit with C9. And it paid out dividends. They could really catch PRX off guard. Oh, they know now.
It's a heavy investment. The nade, not quite deep enough. But they've got him crunched. Something is here, but he's got nothing but an outlaw. But they're going to continue to push the matter. All playing outside of this TP. Weapons have been upgraded. Mindfreak's the only one who's got a rifle on the other side.
This is so awkward for PRX, and now when you're going against an outlaw, nobody has armor or the HP to deal with this. It's a one-shot kill. Smoggy can do some real damage. But they're so split right now.
Toxins going up.
I mean, even Chichu, a Spectre, can nuke down Forsaken or Mindfreak. Forsaken only has a Ghost.
But he's going to get so much info as to where the play is. And if he can get away with one, just one, that's a victory.
Oh, he has to back up now.
30 seconds left.
The thing is, he only spotted one. So Mindfreak has to stay A. Unaware of the fact that both members of EDG have huddled up together. As the smokes go down.
Such
Now,
a close round.
13 seconds left. The paranoia out. It's not going to tag Forsaken. Still playing on the other side of it. The spam from Mindfreak not connecting. The warning shots have been delivered, though, and they've got to understand that's where the pressure's coming from. Forsaken on the swing. Mindfreak will clean him up, leaving Chichu all on his own. Spectre still in hand. 70 HP. The gun barrel. But the reposition is really nice from Chichu. He has too many things he has to clear, and not enough time to do it all.
That little barrel, I thought that was going to be the dagger into PRX. And then he would just have to play in the middle of sight, wait for the drop for Forsaken. It ended up working against him. That's so tough. But a really good eco round for EDG, that Bulldog buy. It makes it so PRX, if they want to invest into this, they're going to be broken the next round. That got scrappy. I like that EDG are ready for the proactivity from PRX. And it wasn't that clean for PRX as well. If they want to do crunches like that, I mean, you got to have more utility. The timing has to be a little bit better.
Satchel out.
They're always decisive with it, though. You got to give them that. Oh, that second satchel did not go the way it was intended to go.
You see the layers of utility. A Gecko Molly, an Omen Flash, a Sky Flash, all to set up Kong to get that initial exchange, to come out on top, potentially get an entry.
Keep a close eye on that, because you imagine they're going to do it once more. Kong still pushing his way forward. Forsaken on the other side. Won't be around much longer.
The man just doesn't die to judges.
You hear Wingman going forward. Jing has played this position so well, man. He buys his time and he strikes when everything is right. And now the showstopper not going to connect. I don't know where that rocket went.
Mindfreak took the head off of Howdong, so
Right
couldn't get
before
value.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't get value there. With Smoggy, the reposition on short here, and nobody just finessing through the smoke. He finds the timing.
It's so perfect. Devi falls 2v2.
Last player
Nobody's
standing.
left in a 1v1. Mindfreak waiting on the other side. He's got that Guardian in hand.
He's playing it so well.
He's buying so much time and then delivers the shots anyway.
The bobbing and weaving from nobody in that 1v1. It kind of just felt like he had a hard read on the situation on Mindfreak. He played that superb. And Jing, I mean, he really opened up this retake for his team. But nobody, he was the difference maker.
These are those little 1v1s that we talked about yesterday, that we talked about at the beginning of the half that just weren't going EDG's way. They're starting to turn.
And that's when playing against a team like EDG can be scary, because they do have really good fundamentals. They have good discipline in a lot of those moments.
And they've got fraggers.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can put all of those things together, like they have so far, they've got a shot at this. Again, a really nice set of utility. The paranoia, the flash around the corner, and now the dog.
The nade will delay them momentarily, but there's still so much utility.
Oh, those satchels, not able to get him into safety. The spam on the other side is the guns from PRX just not holding up.
And now he can get Seekers if he grabs that orb before the bomb goes down.
Something's got to judge, but at that distance,
Got planted.
deciding not to fire,
I've got your trail.
opting for the kill potentially instead.
Just secure the round. I don't mind
Out of
using
turn.
these Seekers as well. It could set you up to get those kills easier.
A lot of space here that they're going to have to take, and with all of the guns on the other side, I mean, that Cove will certainly help, but Howdong.
Wait.
Oh, this has gotten messier than it should have. Chichu and Smoggy are able to keep them back, but that got real ugly for a second.
You can't count PRX out ever, and that's why the Seekers were invested early on. I don't blame nobody for using them in that round whatsoever. And PRX have just been force buying into these rounds back to back to back. Even with scrappy guns, they made it to a 2v2.
And Forsaken reads them like a book, man. As soon as the Clove goes down,
Yeah.
they've got to challenge it, right? There's no way you just let that Effuse come through. And so we're tied at 8. 2 ults on the side of EDG. They've been so much more decisive than they were yesterday. These attack halves have been so much more refreshing.
No hesitation. They're not worried about getting outshot, out-manipulated. They're just showing and going right now.
They have a plan, and they are sticking to it.
Look at this, all the utility.
It's the same set of utility we saw in the previous round.
And when you condition utility like that, it really can set up the future round. So they're looking at the long haul right now.
There may not be much more of the long haul left of this map. Concon going forward with rocket in hand, will connect onto Jing.
Chef's kiss.
Perfectly played, and look at where Smoggy is. Only able to find one though.
What?
Somehow, something gets two. Concon on the snap, and something with the third. Leaving the star on his own to settle the shots. The clip runs dry. Something with 4 and PRX with 9.
He just got, what, 3-4 wall bang kills? That was through CT spawn. And you see players go for that, but it usually doesn't go their way. So maybe a little bit of luck. Getting 2 players with that.
We're gonna look at it one more time.
Look at this. He did see the tracers, but to get 2?
Yeah, that's...
And then the third right there. Oh my goodness. Spams to get the kills. It's so hard to beat PRX when they can win rounds like that. It's, what are you supposed to do? You can't do anything about it. And now you're on an eco round.
The ecos have been messy though.
Mm-hmm. That's a good opener.
Yeah, but the second kill the other way. Not really what they need. Something playing up close on the other side of this wall, puts the Lear out, gives the space up. Meanwhile, PRX slowly tightening around the map.
Proactivity from PRX, pushing through short, but Smoggy, he was checking flank, he just goes back.
Mind Freak can have a feast with this, and that's exactly what he does. Shake's just satchelating forward. Yeah.
Right on his head. Yep. Seen that one before from this guy.
And so we turn our attention to the next round, a very quick precursor as to what we've got, because there are a lot of ults in play here, and we're nearing the end of this map. PRX hanging on to a 2-round lead. They've got the Reckoning. They've got the Orbital Strike.
And you can really invest all these ults into this round because it'll put EDG on such a bad buy for the next that you're sitting on almost match point at that point. I mean, you are sitting at match point. You should be at least.
And Jing's halfway, more than halfway to his rocket as well. So even if you invest all of those, that's still something that's going to have to be considered later. PRX have set themselves up very nicely.
EDG need to try to bait out at least one of these ults early on and not die, not drop early. If you invest the Viper's Pit off the rip here, I mean, well, might not be good because the ultimates from the other side, they could just cycle them.
We're about to find out how that plays out. Jing getting up top and dropping on him, but nobody had his back.
So clutch.
The pit's still up. Can it be dodged by that? The TP out. Pit still in play. Something on the flank. Smoggy waiting. But is he aware of how close he is? Drops down, not able to settle the shots. PRX still with the fight into this, but they've got to get past this pit.
It's too hard.
The biggest thing in their way here.
Last player standing.
A 1-for-1. Something left to his own devices. Playing his time as best as he can.
Not even going for it.
No, at this point. Is he even gonna get away with the gun? No. Chichu hunts him down. EDG get to 9.
EDG did a really good job of not falling to any of those ults early on. And for PRX, they wasted so many ults in that scenario.
Dude, nobody
nobody so
saves
nice.
that round.
Yeah, he does.
Because Chichu was the one he was hunting for, and he almost had him.
PRX jumped the gun too early in that retake, and EDG took full advantage of that.
One round between the two. PRX still with 2 ults. You know, we talked so much in the previous round about the setup that PRX have for themselves from an ult perspective, but EDG are slowly getting near a fever pitch with all of theirs. Howdong, Kong, and nobody.
If they can win this next round, the economy of PRX is going to be in shambles, and they might not even have to invest any of those ults, but they can get a lot of them online.
They're committing to this A. They're committing to this A, and it's a 1-for-1. Meanwhile, the Reckoning will continue to cause problems, but Howdong manages to sidestep all of it. Nobody does too.
What a good split. And now with that dog being proactive in the CT spawn, they have the info that both players should be on the flank.
And they've seen 2 bits of utility as well. The dog and now the flash.
They're too disciplined in these scenarios. Their post-plant win rate is sky high.
It was good yesterday. It continues today. There's no way for them to get in.
One enemy remaining.
The reflink from Smoggy, it's clinical.
Something again will try to save. He wasn't successful in the previous round. And I don't even think he really has a shot at it this time. Deals a little bit of damage. They're gonna get out, right?
Whew. Just in time. Smoggy's so good, Doug. This guy's sitting at 20 kills on Omen Bind. All momentum going the way of EDG now. Look at that opener on the Jing.
It was steady.
So clean.
No micro adjustment of the crosshair, nothing like that. Just steady swings right into it.
Perfect.
That's
And the outlaw buy for Forsaken here? There's a lot of players on light armor right now for EDG.
Yeah, this buy is not great. And of course, something goes aggressive. Tries to turn the flash coop in his face, cannot find anything else.
Perfect utility from EDG.
And that's a big first step. If they want to take this to OT, that's a massive start. But Forsaken has not been taken off of his perch.
And when EDG freeze into these rounds, so far in this match, they haven't really backed up and gone the other way.
Yeah.
So on the opposite side of the map, Devi got info, and Forsaken now is proactive.
But Kong is too. Aggressively going forward. Mike trying to slam the door on the round. And does his damage. Jin cannot find the target. Devi's left to rotate back A. With the Phantom in hand. Full health, full armor. How does he get past through this? Smoggy's weak, yeah. Nobody's taking a little bit of damage, yeah. But a 1v3 is a big ask. They've got money, so why not go for it? 2 away from Seeker, so why not go for it? But he doesn't find a single thing other than the bullet between his eyes. EDG are still alive.
Oh my Smoggy. Even in the TP onto site, I mean, his barrel was in the face of another player. Executes him. And this is that good utility used from EDG. This time when they freeze into the round, that was scrappy for sure. But Smoggy came out on top. But this time when they freeze, it works to their benefit. They wait, and they wait for the utility. They allow nobody to get onto the site because of the Omen smoke.
Last round of regulation. And again, a heavy stack from PRX, A short. Both duelists and a controller left to hold the line. I mean, they're all here and they're all playing on this tiny little sliver on the other side of the wall. Forsaken so far up here. Meanwhile, pushing all the way up into showers. The orbital strike will send them apart. Smoggy will fall. And Forsaken, the space he had taken was so good. A 5v2 now. It's disaster, they crumble. At the foot of PRX, they cannot stand. Map 1 goes away, Pacific's #1 seed.
What a map from both teams.
जैसे कि हाई टाइप करता है तो उसे क्या दिखना चाहिए मैसेज, तो मैंने उसके लिए यहाँ पर लिख दिया हाई और यूज़र का नाम जो भी यहाँ पर सेलेक्ट कर आईडी पूछता है आपके इंस्टा को यहाँ पर टाइप कर देना है इंस्टाग्राम। जैसे आप हूँ माई इंस्टाग्राम आईडी इज़ टेक्निकल एन की, अगर इसको भी यहाँ पर भी आपकी लाइव स्ट्रीम में कोई लाइव स्ट्रीम जितने उसके लिए क्लिक करना है। जैसे आप ऐड पर क्लिक करते हैं तो सबसे पहले जैसे कि अगर मैं सब्सक्राइब के लिए बोलना चाहता हूं तो मैंने यहां पर सबसे पहले टाइप कर दिया सब्सक्राइब। जैसे मैंने सब्सक्राइब टाइप किया, यहां पर अपना मैसेज लिख सकते हैं, अपने YouTube चैनल का आप लिंक दे सकते हैं। मैंने यहां पर मैसेज क्या लिखा है, डोंट फॉरगेट टू सब्सक्राइब आवर YouTube चैनल एंड हिट द बेल आइकन, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अवर लाइव स्ट्रीम। इस तरह से आप अपने मैसेज लिख सकते हैं जो भी आप रखना चाहते हैं। इंटरवल टाइम यहाँ पर आपके लिए बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है। जैसे कि
PaperX back in like the PaperX form. They make a slight change to their comp, but still the core of it is the same. The way that they can path on their attack side with this composition, especially with that Harbor in the mix, is really incredible. That propelled them to a massive lead, and they managed to close out in the end too.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't an easy task, right? Because we saw some brilliant moments from the side of EDG. In fact, in that game, even though they lost, they had 18 first bloods. So just imagine, it's always the chance of the comeback for PRX and actually being there for the trade.
But that's where we saw the PaperX individuals stepping up in these late rounds. Players like Something, like Jing, were saving round after round for PaperX.
And speaking of those individuals, I felt like we could have had so many things for the HyperX Reflex moment of the day, but this one goes to the warbang of Something.
I mean, it's just so impressive because I bet with one bullet, he gets 2 kills in that one angle that everybody spams, but most likely will not get anything, and Something, of course, gets something.
The third kill, that's horrible, but the third kill was also ridiculous. Another blatant spam coming out from this guy. I mean, Something is just such a talented player. And, you know, any other team picking Reyna, I'd be against it. But the way that he plays this agent is just really good. It gives him the agency to go for really confident plays. And I think they still set up a lot of nice combos between the Sky and the Reyna flashes, kind of making up for the lack of the Gecko.
And not only that, especially when we see them from the defense being aggressive, the way that he was dismissing and being so disruptive onto EDG gave them a lot of edge.
We have to shout out Smoggy though, because I felt like if Smoggy didn't have the performance he had, maybe this map wouldn't have been as close.
Yeah, exactly. We see him topping there in EDG, but even Alex said it. They were not prepared for this. The way that they were executing, the way that the flashes and the paranoias were coming in, the way that he was strongholding on B, repositioning time after time, the impact that he was having is one of the key reasons why one, we even got to a 6-6 half, and 2, we saw, you know, this result in the end.
That was the most impressive part to me about this Omen for Smoggy, the way he was playing on B. I think he did a great job of picking his timings on when to find that initial fight and then send in the paranoia, teleport into the second angle, and kind of have so many different looks. It's really disruptive. It's kind of similar to like last year when teams saw Sova on Fracture for the first time. When you see an agent you're not really used to and you see like weird utility on a different map, there's always that adjustment period there. So I thought this was actually a really good comp change from EDG, but it's a shame they couldn't close out in the end.
This is the thing, how good of a change is this? But before we talk about that, let's hear what Coach After had to say ahead of map 2.
I'm here right now with After of EDG. After, I'm curious, especially with such a high pressure situation like this, a high pressure match, what do you tell your team in order to hype them up?
在如此高压的淘汰赛情况之下，你是跟选手们会说些什么来给他们鼓劲儿打气的呢？
我觉得 FPS 游戏其实就是要纯粹嘛，然后我觉得就是感受台上的激情，然后玩得开心，我觉得这是最重要的。对。
FPX game, you know, pure game. You just need to enjoy the whole things, enjoy the stage. That is all.
Well, we hope that the players will be enjoying this one. So, jayo EDG.
I mean, it was enjoyable for us to watch that map. It was really fun. But the thing is it enough for Sunset? Because it feels like when we get to Sunset, the score disparity might get a bit larger.
I'm pretty worried about EDG going into this Sunset. They looked so rough in that last showing, and I think this has clearly been PaperX's strongest map throughout their run in Pacific.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. You know, maybe they have something prepared to see in the stage. Maybe they really know how to work around it. But based on preparation and how they were looking against Heretics, it's very difficult to go for EDG. Again, very, very passive at the beginning of the round, not having the cleanest of the starts there on the attack. Maybe waiting for something that wasn't happening with time. EDG will be starting on this attacking side again, and I think their biggest issue on the attack last time they played Sunset was losing constant control of the game. Their opponent in that game was super proactive, always taking that space, and then in these late rounds finding the right rotates on the opposing side. I think Cambridge is honestly going to play in a pretty similar way. They'll send a lot of other stuff, like a Sage slow and a nade coming in, sometimes a wall over there, and then they'll set up for these really strong late round retakes, even they still have that stage roll, especially blocking off, sticking that difference. They're a super disruptive team on this map. Yeah, exactly. So I think that we need to see a little bit of the EDG that we just saw in Bind in comparison to what we saw against Heretics and Sunset. I want to see them more proactive, more decisive, and sometimes you just got to send them, and especially when the other team is not seeing with the Cypher on this map, getting to that post-match should be the #1 priority. For me, even before, about them not being able to get the spike down, that has to be the #1 priority for them right the box, I have more faith after seeing this switch from down to lower. They had really good game planning, and I like the comp too. I'm hoping they've had the same sit down to talk about how they're going to vary their sunset. Well, it's their back. Yeah. They went into the Astra against Heretics. Maybe they were not completely sure about that. The teacher is an amazing Viper. So maybe putting him here will allow them to regain that.
Using that toxin screen to at least create a bit more pressure. And last time they played, I think the pressure got to them in front of the Chinese crowd, the last hope of China. Now here in this match, they look themselves. They're playing confident, they're playing good. They almost took map number 1, but this is going to be rough now. They have to bring everything out to try and have a chance at recovery here. If not, it'll be elimination for our last Chinese team.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle no matter what happens from here. Even if they can secure Sunset, they've got a split as well as a map 3. And PRX, they are a very, very resilient opponent. Let's find out if this one can make it to a map 3 and send it back to your casters. Here's Dog and Baby Bay.
Thank you so much, Insu. Jing, the last 2 times he has played on the international stage, has been met with defeat. It was at Champs, and then it was at Madrid. Now, he's potentially 1 map away from getting that monkey off of his back in the face of a crowd that's obviously cheering for EDG, in the face of the history of their matchups, in the face of the last way this series went when these 2 squads clash. And yeah, he wasn't there, but this could be something special. The Desk talked a lot, Dre, about how EDG looked rough the last time they played Attack on Sunset, and this map really kind of lends itself to a little bit of the chaos that PRX like to play with.
And the composition that they like to play with as well. It's so explosive. Yeah, they're on the defense, but when those retakes come through, it's going to be in full effect
There.
for PRX. And EDG, they opted to switch to the Viper, which I actually like a lot for them because they're able to do these walk-ups that I was speaking of in the last match that they couldn't do. But PRX, they're so proactive. They do get contact here.
They back right on up. Cool. Dizzy popping off.
There we go. That slow and then explosive approach. They're going to go for even more here. Kong.
Remember, the post plan is where they find success, but this time they try to get a little aggressive ahead of it. The kills are traded, though. Something giving PRX the advantage. They got to what they needed, but it was with a little bit of aggression and a couple of bodies also along the way. EDG have thrived in post plants, but they're down in numbers.
They have the info, though. They push spawn.
Smoggy.
Go flash connected, Doug.
Smoggy getting tagged, the Thrash going forward. They thought he was going to funnel out on the other side. He's gotten it down to 1. The wall goes up. There's really nothing waiting on the other side, though. Something falls. Can Mindfreak win this out on his own? Settling shots onto the first. Crosshair swinging onto the second. Howdong patient on the swing. He tries to switch to Ghost, and the timing could not have been worse. EDG get the pistol.
A big pistol win for EDG to set the pace on this attacking side of Sunset. It was that Viper wall that allowed them to creep up into elbow and then explode onto the site with the Gecko Flash. But the key difference here was the disruption of the actual retake. Pushing spawn here, even after they were down numbers, and just playing off of each other. Smoggy again, he hasn't missed a beat all series long. He did so much that round with the Classic. Right-clicking in and out, staying alive. I mean, he barely took any damage at all.
A fast-paced hit here.
And a fast entry from Kong.
Oh, they're turning the other way. It looked like they were going to go elbow, given the wall, given the utility, but they strike the other way.
Down A.
Good trades from EDG to settle the round here. Devi, he's just stuck on the other end of this trip. Howdong will get the info now that that's broken. Look, all 3 players of EDG are gearing up, ready to swing off of Howdong's contact. They don't even need to.
Not when Howdong's shooting that well.
And he was pretty quiet last map, so it's good to see him heating up a little bit, getting a little bit more comfortable on this stage in this series. The IGL. What a fast, explosive entry from EDG, and the change of pace already. They're in the driver's seat finally on their attacking side. They're not playing this super slow game where they just get delayed with 10 seconds left in the round and they're forced to try to plant the bomb.
PRX with 5 rifles, light armor on Devi and Forsaken. And of course, as I call his name, delivers a kill.
Jeez. peeked into a firing squad right there. Okay.
EDG really tried fighting mid here. I mean, the X's on the minimap tell the tale.
And to be fair for EDG in that round, or in this round, it's not over yet, but they had a chance to get some kills in those exchanges.
Sure.
The shots just didn't go their way this time. You know, they ran into a firing squad. But when you dry peek into top mid like that, it's kind of what you're set up for. You kind of want that.
Right, you want the fight. And you expect the shots to go your way. Something was one of the weaker remaining members. To be fair, there are a lot of them.
Yeah. PRX will clean up that round, Jing, with 3 to his name. It was a mid fight from start to finish. Everybody dying from EDG in mid. And now they'll have a full buy. So a little bit of damage done for EDG, showing PRX that, you know, we like to contact mid. We like to contact A into elbow. We'll also explode onto A. A lot of different looks that PRX have to be wary about now, going into the future rounds.
This is a different look, too.
Yeah, a new Viper wall. Exactly.
Oftentimes when that Viper wall goes A, there's a fault line, there's satchels, there's a dizzy. Oh, but I love this. This time they don't make any noise, but PRX gladly take that fight and come out on top.
Kong almost had that opener, too. He caught something on the tap of his own eye there. Just didn't go his way. Good shots from something, but he gets traded out by Howd on top mid, and now that's a Cypher ult. Full info the way of EDG. They can really maneuver around the map, and that's why you see players taking all that A space.
I love the way that PRX just handled that. It made them look like they were going to go mid. As soon as the second tick goes through, they rotate back A, and Forsaken is ahead of the punch.
That's why. Exactly what you just said. That's the opener for Forsaken, and now they have man advantage in the retake.
Ult committed. Jing looking to find a target. He's found plenty of space. But Howdong's left alone. He's gotten one, but that's all it'll be. Again, that little half a second hezzy mid off of that Cypher ult got them that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, Forsaken was able to just sneak right in there, get that initial kill, get out. Now you have mad advantage. Oh, so close.
Yeah,
Kong was
right.
so close on that kill.
The value of that smoke.
For these future rounds, you imagine EDG are going to try to bait out that fault line and then re-walk into space.
That's what we would like to see from them, yeah.
Nevertheless, that was a really clean retake from PRX after being man up.
Devi with an op in hands this round. Light armor. Currently focused on mid, while EDG have I set B.
Good cam break off the rip of the round from Mindfreak.
And something has taken so much space here. Creeping around mid, they're gonna have to deal with that trip. Devi gets up top, and he still gets tagged. Has to get back down by the skin of his
spam the Viper through the smoke at this point if you're PRX. But he steps out of it, Chichu.
Ahead of it. Nicely played.
Confidence like that. You want to keep popping shots in my smoke? I'll bring the fight to you, buddy. That's the operator out of play as well.
Chichu will fall.
Yeah, and something should just save this off in this round. EDG are so good when they get the bomb down. The desk was talking about it. I've been talking about it. And a nice round from EDG. Kong, I think he jumped the gun a little bit too early there with the showstopper, but that did give his team the information of where players were playing. They realized that Forsaken was playing all the way in spawn, off the site. They were able to lurk up with Chichu's Viper's Pit. And this little sidestep right here, that was so clean from nobody.
The trade was really nice too.
Yeah, and in the last series, I kind of foreshadowed that EDG liked to play an attack side operator on Kong, and sometimes he'll just go up and take space by himself. They never had the economy to be able to do that in the last series, but now that they're actually putting up a fight, they're able to have these different type of looks.
No attack side off this time around. Something has his, and
Holy.
man, nobody never had a shot.
That was so fast. And that's the initiator down for EDG. So you kind of have to contact into anywhere now, and there's a setup from PRX.
As soon as Forsaken gets contact, Jing can swing, or he just gets the kills by himself, and Device with him as well.
It's beautiful.
I mean, you set it up super well. That was very aggressive. That was very PRX. Jing's decision there, but PRX got the round, and you're right. As soon as the initiator goes down, they have to contact.
There's no other option.
And it just so happened that they were leaning into the 3 that PRX had there. That crossfire setup was gorgeous.
It was, yeah, it was swing, swing, swing off of each other. Everyone got a kill. Everyone participated. Here's that initial kill. That was a quick shot.
Yeah, if something gets that line at the beginning of the round uncontested, he's gonna punish you with it.
Even Forsaken just crouched in that little A corner. If he's standing, he probably gets his head taken off. Just that fact of just him crouching in that scenario. He's so aware that EDG have to walk in and you have to break the crosshair somehow.
Toxin screen down.
Aggressive A default from Forsaken. You usually see Omens playing this spot. This time it's going to be a breach just jump spotting. He'll maybe use a flash to back up if he has to.
I think he got what he was looking for, though. He got that orb. And the breach ult is so powerful, but it takes, like, what, 20 ult points to get that thing going?
Yeah, I mean, but when you're popping off, like Forsaken can pop off, it makes it seem like you might have one every other round.
Yeah.
Which is so impressive.
Feels like Thrash.
Oh, another entry from something. The second to follow up.
Oh, this is the only real gun they had here. Smoggy strikes. Devi's the only one who's playing back here. Has the res, but no real way to get back to anybody to bring him up unless it's through here. And again, Smoggy's on the other side. Oh, but Devi's gonna go down low. There's no way Smoggy sees this.
Now the res, Doug.
No charges left.
Yeah, it seems like he is
30 seconds
gonna
left.
invest it, or at least considering it.
He walls himself off to secure it as well.
Howdong's timing could be everything. Top shot lands. Chichu's 10 HP are the only things standing between PRX and another round. Perfect.
Man, even just walling off the site there. All something has to do after he gets res is just focus on the flank. The other two players grouped up with the rifles. And yeah, Chichu took the head off of one of the players, but the trade was just there instantly. That's that entry from something. The second follow-up. It got scrappy though. Maybe a little over-eager for PRX. EDG could have converted this if this timing didn't happen. Smoggy, if he's a second sooner to looking at that angle, maybe he gets an insta headshot onto Devi.
Yeah, maybe a little over-eager, but they live and die by this sword, man. And so when it works great, and it's worked great up against EDG up until this point. Yeah, the first map was close, but
very aggressive. Change of pace on the defensive side. It was the AWP that got most of the entries this time around. space gathered in mid and a delay to this B hit. Nobody outside of the smoke from EDG.
Meanwhile, everyone from PRX has already rotated back over. That delay is so good. Something's the only one who's not showing behind. He has an op holding the middle of the map. EDG wise to it, have to go through spawn.
The problem here, Doug, is that nobody stayed in B main to see that the Sage wall is up. That allows PRX to like actually maybe get ahead of this fight and pick somebody off on their actual entry.
Second round of the Thrash will clear the way, elbow. Kong Kong using the last bit of mobility that he had to get aggressive ahead of it. Little green goo at his feet. Kong Kong will fall.
What a fault line.
Smoggy's in a really nice spot though. Oh my goodness, what a shot. Forsaken takes his head clean off. Chichu and Haodong have to win this one on their own. Haodong was so weak and now he's dead. PRX up big.
30 seconds
Not
left.
just in this round, but they're about to hit 7 on the map.
Forsaken might get another Breach ultimate after this kill. Or even if he falls. There it is. Device Sage Wall being up in B main allows everybody to cheat over towards that A site and disrupt the actual take of EDG. The fast flood. That was a raise nade followed up, the stun.
Wow.
Even Smoggy there, he actually got hit by the stun before he took the TP, so he was irrelevant. He couldn't do anything. It's a beautiful play right now from PRX. Their play style is just so hard to play against. Such a weird composition too.
Again, this aggression is Jing satchels forward, and this time there's everybody on the other side. EDG, we're all here.
No
and
way.
That level of aggression just sends a shudder down their spine. Even if Jing leaves, which he does, they've got to be afraid of what's afoot, what's at their doorstep. They've invested the Rolling Thunder as well. They're all trapped here. Can EDG stand strong? Forsaken again, patiently playing his time. He's gonna have to do it on his own, and he can't. In the face of that aggression, a thrifty round win for EDG.
It was an aggressive maneuver through the middle of the map from Jing, back-to-back rounds. This time, EDG punishes PRX for their over-aggression. And they needed to do that because, I mean, if they don't win these battles, these gunfights, they're just gonna get smothered once more. It's just run into the blender that is PRX. The thing is EDG are playing into PRX's hand from start of the round to the end of the round. The initial reactions of EDG off of that mid fight is to speed up A, but that's kind of what PRX wanted. They want to trap you, they want to enclose you. So yeah, they won that round, but I just feel like PRX is making them make these reactionary plays, and when you EDG play reactionary, it just doesn't bode well for them.
It's just such a difficult ask to try to set the pace against PRX, man. They force you on their back foot.
I mean, even here though, with this top mid smoke, nobody walking out to actually clear mid.
Yeah, so something fills in behind it. The smoke is pointless.
They're just a layer behind right now.
No ults on the side of PRX.
I mean, again, they're smothered once more. But if EDG can get the bomb down, we've seen them thrive in these scenarios.
Wait, what's the cue? They're gonna get that dizzy up. Oh, he gets caught by the trip.
The satchels were missed.
That was such a cool idea, but now they understand where the pressure's coming from, and EDG have to turn eyes back. Every single flash used. Haodong only gets one. Smoggy on the swing. Can't stand up either. Nobody's out, not connecting. But that's okay.
They're walled off.
Devi's gonna get the defuse, at least to have to spam to break the panel.
They have to push.
They've got a body bag in front of them. They hold the defuse the whole way. Devi's wall closes out the half.
Switching sides.
That wall got so much value. And now PRX get to set their own tempo on the attacking side.
Hey, take a look at this one more time. I mean, if not for the trip, that round is probably not that close,
yeah.
But nicely handled by EDG to settle. This last layer, though, this last part of the equation is what's just too far, too unconsidered by EDG. And so they're glad to sit behind their wall. They're glad to get to 8 rounds. Everything has gone their way. We've got an Omen player moments with Jing standing by as we get to pick his brain a little bit here.
I mean, I think we started off really strong, but we kind of, I guess we kind of like lost the fuel. I don't think we ever lost our like first match like this, so I mean it's something new for us. But I guess every time when we lost the grand finals, we lost a team from low bracket. So I guess this might be it. I mean, I don't think I'll say
and something coming up on those ultimates. By the end of this round, they might be able to put something together. The IGL, Haodong, sitting Jing down. That could be the spark for EDG. Well, look at the opposite side of the map. This is a free A site.
But they don't have mid. And that's where EDG are filling.
And PRX don't have bomb either.
They've put the wall up. I guess they think they're safe across the middle of the map. Devi has to be careful here. Oh, as he's gonna try to cross. Hong Kong has gotten ahead of it. He's gonna get the kill, and that's a spike.
Spike down B.
But they don't know. They don't know that all the players were towards the A side of the map, so he kind of has to give bomb here. Right there. Haodong does aggress B main. That will give EDG the info that everybody was towards that A side of the map.
He's got the line. They're gonna have to swing into it. That fault line is just so good, but something will fall. Haodong now forced to swing back into the fight as the spike hits the ground once more. Mindfreak left in a 1v4. EDG played this so well. Proactively taking space everywhere across the map. Nicely done as EDG get to 5.
Great job from EDG. That opener from Haodong, the re-aggression into B main after the bomb is dropped. Really good stuff. But a bit of fortune that the bomb was not towards the A players. Had the bomb been towards the A site in the big pack of players, that's a bomb down for sure, for certain. A good answer back from EDG as we head into the 16th round. A bit of a scrappy buy for PRX. But they thrive in moments like this, and if they explode onto this B site, there's no trips here yet.
And in the face of a full buy from EDG, this close to closing it out.
Showstopper.
This could be a mess. Spike drop. What EDG desperately need to avoid is now knocking on their doorstep. They still have guns though, and they're healthy. But the Thrash invested. You imagine Jing will follow. Rocket online, no satchels to get any sort of space.
And no kill either.
Meanwhile, Kong Kong on the swing. He's now 1 point away from having his ult online. Jing up close with the stinger, avoiding the utility, still getting a shot on nobody. He connects onto the second. Kong Kong again. Left to deliver for EDG. And with targets on either side, that very well may be the dagger.
The thrifty from PRX. It was a scrappy buy, but like I said, they thrive in moments like this. This entry from Jing, that Omen flash, even the Breach C to follow up, and this little intuition peek from Jing. That was so cold, Doug. He was tucked there the entire time, but he knew the window of opportunity that he could have had, and he took full advantage of it. EDG, this will be the timeout. The last time out. They have to bring it back. This is elimination. Forsaken has that Breach ult online. Mindfreak has the Omen ult. Kong Kong. He's sitting at a shorty and a raise rocket. I think he might use it off the rip here.
No reason to leave any stone unturned, but the paranoia hits him.
He got hit by his teammate's Omen flash. I think Mindfreak also blew his as well. Maybe it was Mindfreak's.
But he's gotten so far up already, Mindfreak has. Making sure there's no flank coming around. You see the slow orbs coming through. The wall will go up. A little bit of cheeky gap here on the other side. Understanding that's where the pressure could be coming from. Haodong has fallen. The spike is down. Oh, how can EDG try to take this thing back? They've got a rifle in the hands of Smoggy and in Nobody.
It's a good start.
He strikes first.
Right there.
The wall's still in play, and now they can sit back with Forsaken's ult. If they really want to get messy with it, Mindfree can flip it. TP deep behind enemy lines. Instill chaos into the round. Or they just close it out with the fault line. A really nice shot out from Smoggy. It's getting messier than it should have been. Again, Kong left alone. Can he deliver this time? No! 0 for 3 as PRX get to series point.
That was the closest chance he's had in the 1v2s. Every other time, it was just PRX playing with their food, peeking in and out. The shots couldn't quite hit the mark for Kong in that last shot. That last opportunity in the 1v2. And this Sage wall from PRX, it makes it so you just have to spam the default box as that Gecko is planting the bomb. If anybody wants to push up, I mean, it's only one lane they have to worry about, really. A very aggressive approach to this round. Cypher trip not broken, though. So EDG, they shouldn't have to over-rotate towards this B site. And that's why you see Kong getting a little aggressive on this A line. If PRX decide to walk back in, he might be able to get one and get out with his life. I'm curious to see if PRX invest any utility here. They won't. What a flick.
He pays for it with his life. And finally, a numbers advantage for EDG.
With bombs so far away as well. Fault line will inevitably have Kong have to back up, but he's re-aggressing.
Of course he is. Now taking a step back, the rest to bring Mindfreak into the fold once more. Now the Rolling Thunder.
Connected as well. He's not going to be able to disrupt anything here.
Shoving him away, but take a look at Nobody. He's gotten really far up. Do they clear him? Do they know he's there? The crossfire is so nice! Forsaken falls, Nobody on the swing, connects! 3 left on the side of PRX, make that 2. EDG seem to be holding the line here, and they're throwing everything into this. With 13 seconds left, PRX have nowhere to go.
It's just a save.
10 seconds left.
Well played around from EDG. All off the back of Kong. And Haodong's Cypher utility, it stayed alive at B for so long that they were able to get ahead of that. Getting really aggressive, taking the smokes out early. This was that flick. So precise. The res did come through, but again, when you have an operator player like this who's so confident, and he's honestly one of the most skilled operators in this game, without a doubt. If he hits the shot on you, if you don't insta-headshot him, you're going down.
Yeah, you're losing that fight.
So that's why he's so confident going for these re-aggro fights consistently. He knows he's gonna kill you if you whiff.
EDG still with a long way to go. So much ground to make up. They have a couple of tools here. Kong still has the op. Meanwhile, it's a weird buy for PRX. Forsaken couldn't even really purchase much into this. He's got utility, sure, but no gun.
And I wonder if this time around they're leaving the trip here on purpose to set up Jing for alert kill after they aggress in mid or retake the A line.
Yeah, late split or something like that.
Yeah, that's so impressive. I'm pretty sure they were aware that they didn't break it the last round, and now they're reading into it.
Right there.
That smoke suggests that they're going to try to get through the middle of the map and try to split B through spawn, but he's ahead of it.
Look at this. This is all prep. They know that Smoggy likes to play on top of here. Oh, he almost got caught out being in his smoke form.
Pushed off the wall, and now they decide to go. The wingman first, the wall up, Jing playing on the other side. Haodong falls, so does Smoggy. 3 left to try to stay up, to try to keep tournament hopes alive. And that's another that will fall, another that will crumble. Nobody was nowhere to go. PRX seemed to have done it. In the face of 5, Nobody will fall. Grand finals in LA. lower finals in Madrid, in front of a Chinese crowd. The Heartbreak Kids will not be denied. Not in Shanghai, not yet.
PRX excelled in every aspect in this match. They fought against adversity on Vine. They closed it out on their map convincingly on Sunset. And EDG, although they had a way better showing this time around, this should be a wake-up call.
A 2-0 sweep, and PRX look good. They look really good. In pursuit of what has eluded them for so long. This is a team that many people expected to have already lifted hardware once, and they got close. They got so close. They've done it so many times. And just when it seemed like they were gonna have to bow out and take an early exit, they
Gonna be the highlights. Smoggy, he did such a good round here on the pistol. She'll allow Haodong to secure it, but it just seemed like after the pistol and that anti-eco, PRX just had full control of this map. They manipulated EDG to play into their hands, into their setups. And the operator on the defensive side, Gecko, for something that, I mean, look, he has 6 first bloods. That was a big part of that.
PRX did such a good job of hitting their utility at the right spots. They were decisive on their strikes. Again, they don't really care about what the other team is doing, right? They know this is the pace they want to play at. This is the approach they want to take. It's going to be taking space mid. It's going to be satcheling through. It's so decisive, and it looks so good every single time.
风格，以及他们一如既往的稳定发挥的时候，他们是如何达到这么好的平衡的呢？ So you have such a unique playstyle that bring to the league. How to find a way to balance your iconic playstyle and stable performance?
I mean, it's just what we are used to, so I guess we just have to practice and keep playing the same way, and we'll just get used to it and we'll be more consistent.
他说，对于他们来说，其实他们也是很习